Alex was driving his Model Y on a freeway in Los Angeles, California when a BMW X5 dove out in front of him. The driver of the BMW lost control, spun out, and crashed into the car in front of Alex. The BMW then took off, turning the accident into a hit and run. After stopping, Alex called 911 and the California Highway Patrol was quick to respond to the scene of the accident. After viewing Alex's Teslacam footage, the CHP saw that the BMW driver had waited too long to merge, finally just going for it. At least he'd used his turn signal. Thanks to Teslacam, the BMW driver was caught and charged with felony hit and run. The victim was very grateful for Alex's footage. The CHP later informed Alex that the victim had made a full recovery. Thank God for Teslacam. Francisco's wife was taking their kids to school in Cypress, Texas, along with their 4-year-old son and 1-year-old nephew in the third row of their Model Y. A Jeep being driven by a teenager nearly rear-ended them, missing by mere inches. Then, at the next traffic light, they rear-ended a different car instead. Francisco says they were lucky she swerved and missed their Tesla since the little ones were in the back row seats. Francisco's wife stopped and gave her number to the victim in case they needed their Teslacam footage. This submitter was driving his Model 3 in Queensland, Australia. He slowed down for traffic, but the girl behind him was only paying attention to her phone. She rear-ended him at full speed. The submitter thinks she must have been driving around 80 kilometers per hour, about 50 miles per hour, since that was the posted speed limit in that area. And it doesn't look like she applied the brakes at all. The submitter saw her coming in his rearview mirror, and we can see he tried accelerating away before impact, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough. Thankfully, nobody involved was injured. Aiden was driving home on I-15 in Bonsall, California after working a graveyard shift. Autopilot was engaged and he was traveling at about 80 miles per hour. He looked down at the screen to fast forward through a podcast ad, and when he looked up, he was a few feet away from what looked like a twisted piece of aluminum on the freeway. By the time he noticed it, he didn't have any time to react, and he just tensed up since he knew his 3-week-old Model Y was about to get damaged. When he felt the tires hit the metal, he cursed silently to himself as the reality sunk in that he'd have to pay to fix whatever damage had just been caused. He spent the rest of the drive hoping the damage wouldn't be too difficult to repair. When he got home, he reviewed the footage and saw the road debris was actually an aluminum ladder. He also realized that if he'd been paying attention, he would have had more than enough time to react and avoid hitting it. After filing a claim with Tesla Insurance, he made an appointment with the local service center. The repair estimate came to $1,770 US. Sadado Rama was heading to grab brunch with his sister when all of a sudden this jaywalker walked into the street. Sadado Rama slammed on the brakes, but then the jaywalker charged at them. Sadado Rama threw the car in reverse and backed up, at which point the angry dude set his sights on a parked Tesla and it looks like he hit it. The puppy in the back seat was shaken up, but they had a laugh about the incident at brunch. Cameron was driving his Model 3 with Autopilot engaged while on a road trip from Maine to his home in Texas. That's when a trailer in front of him ripped a chunk of rock up from the road. Autopilot had no chance to react, and the Tesla drove straight over the rock. It damaged the front left tire as well as the vehicle's undercarriage. Cameron pulled over and called the police, filed an insurance claim, and had his Model 3 towed to a nearby tire shop. He had to stay in a hotel for 2 nights, waiting for them to replace his wheel and tire. With repairs complete, he was finally able to continue his trip home. Now he's waiting for an appointment at the Tesla service center to get an estimate to fix the damage to the undercarriage. Soken was turning left at an intersection in Henderson, Nevada, when his wife Christina suddenly yelled, "Watch out!" Another driver wasn't paying attention and ran a red light, T-boning the Jeep turning in front of them. Soken hit the brakes as soon as he heard his wife's warning. Christina is 6 months pregnant, and they're very lucky they avoided an accident. Soken stopped to check on the driver who'd been hit, and he was okay. Luckily, there was a medical professional nearby, and cops were on the scene about 2 minutes after the accident. Both drivers ended up being fine. Cole's dad had left his Model 3 to charge in a garage while visiting him at Princeton University. About 3 hours after he'd left, another car parked next to his Tesla. The driver got out, practically kicking her door open, smacking it into the side of the Tesla. The girl got out, noticed the damage she'd caused, and did something we never see happen on this channel. She left a note. She wrote, "I'm so sorry, I might have scratched your left back car door by accident. If you would like to contact me, here is my number." We get it, everyone makes mistakes. Not everyone has the integrity to own up to them. That's why this girl is this week's real MVP. Cole's dad didn't file a police report or an insurance claim since he didn't think the damage was very noticeable, and he's not sure if it's even worth fixing. I'm not sure if we agree with that part. That dent looks pretty nasty. Still, thanks for the great story. Okay, we get plenty of videos showing people deliberately triggering Sentry mode by waving at the cameras, but we've never seen what it looks like from the other side until now.
Oh, I want to set off the Tesla view.
Christopher sent us this video of him trying to set off Sentry mode with his friends. We'll wait and see if the owner of the car sends us their footage. In this next clip, the Sentry mode of Nico's Model 3 was set off by some guys who apparently didn't want to be caught on camera. When this guy saw the Tesla, he turned around and covered his face before yelling at his friend, who then took cover behind a pillar. Nico has a theory that might explain why these guys were avoiding the cameras. 3 cars over, he found an Audi RS3 with a smashed window. Nico gave a copy of his Sentry mode footage to the Audi owner so he could add it to his police report. Ghost Wolf was taking a friend home when they saw a police car coming down the hill toward a roundabout. Just then, surprise, surprise, a Honda pulled out and hit the right rear side of the cop car. Honda bump. Zach was driving his Model 3 down a one-way road in Melbourne, Australia, when a car suddenly appeared traveling the wrong way. The other driver pulled over onto the shoulder to let Zach go past, but then it just continued on down the road. Even more strange, the same thing happened again the very next day, on the same road. Zach wanted to remind everyone to keep your eyes open and stay safe. Paul was driving his Model 3 in Windsor Locks, Connecticut on his way back from Bradley International Airport. When he merged onto the highway, there was a Buick and a tow truck in front of him. As soon as he got onto the highway, Paul moved to the left lane to pass slower traffic. That's when the hood on a Toyota that was being towed unexpectedly popped open, slamming into its windshield. A piece of metal flew off of it and appeared to hit the Buick following behind it. Paul honked his horn as he passed the tow truck and tried to signal the driver to pull over. He's not sure if the tow truck driver realized what had happened, but he probably found out soon enough once the Buick driver had a chance to talk to him. JD was driving southbound on US Route 3 in New Hampshire when a BMW on his right lost a wheel. Sparks went flying everywhere, but the driver managed to maintain control and safely pull over to the shoulder. The loose wheel bounced over into the northbound lanes, but luckily it didn't hit anyone. This submitter had parked his Model Y in Estero, Florida. When he came back to his car, he found a deep scratch on the side of it, along with this Sentry mode video. The BMW driver who had parked in front of him got out while talking on his phone, then keyed the Tesla while walking past it. The submitter filed a police report, but the police weren't able to look up the BMW's license plate number, so the investigation is still open. If you recognize this criminal, please send us an email and we'll forward it to the Tesla owner, as well as to the police department.